Sars is making a move to seize movable properties belonging to controversial businessman Adriano Mazzotti. The Revenue Service has obtained a warrant of execution in the North Gauteng High Court. It's understood it is for the payment of 33 million rand plus interest, which Sars claims Mazzotti owes it in terms of the Customs and Excise Act. To discuss more on this by Sars, I'm joined by its Acting Chief Enforcement Officer, Viwe Mlenzana. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much for your time. 34 million. Can you perhaps first confirm the figures?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that I want to confirm the figures per se. Safe to say to you that, late last year sometime, we introduced a new unit within our environment, and this unit is called the Illicit Economy Unit. And in a nutshell, it's responsible for investigating syndicated tax fraud. Now, so this unit, since its establishment, has been hard at work, busy with various investigations throughout the country. And in its work, of course, it is responsible for ensuring that we collect whatever revenue that is due to the fiscus and ensuring that whatever non-compliance that there is in terms of the tax laws, that such taxpayers are brought to book rather.
But then, I mean, if you're dealing with illicit trade, how do you arrive at these amounts that this person owes this amount?
Yeah. So again, let's resist the temptation of discussing the individual taxpayer because we're restricted in terms of the law around those specific issues. Well, let me put it to you this way: that as you know, that taxpayers are, have an obligation to, first of all, register as taxpayers. Secondly, they need to declare their income. And SARS then will then do an assessment and will then give you an indication as to how much you owe the taxman, so to speak. So, so that will happen in the course of events. So what also then tends to happen in many instances is that various businesses would then register for various tax types. And in some instances, these taxpayers then, they are involved in all sorts of different manner of businesses. And unfortunately, it so happened that sometimes some of the taxpayers do not necessarily follow the letter of the law in terms of doing what they need to do, or they do not necessarily pay what is due to the taxman. Sometimes then, of course, what then happens is that they get involved in activities that are legal.
Of course, can you talk to us about the assets that you're attaching in this particular case?
So, again, I'm at pains for you to talk about the specific matter, and safe to say that obviously one has seen all the reports that have been there, and I suspect from the perspective of the public, it's an issue of interest, but from where we are restricted in terms of discussing the nitty-gritty of that. Every taxpayer has a right, and those rights we have a responsibility to ensure we maintain them, and from a tax perspective that we do not divulge tax activities or conversations or matters between us and the specific taxpayer, as it were. So if I can talk in general terms, so what you will find is that to an extent that a taxpayer has owed SARS money over a period of time, and such monies have become due and have not been paid, then SARS has every right to ensure that we recover that money that is due to the fiscus, in many ways that are within the law. So if an individual taxpayer has assets that we can then attach, we would then attach those to try and recover what is due to the taxman.
Of course, why this particular case would generate a great deal of interest because of the person Adriano Mazzotti's proximity to certain politicians, and it's public knowledge that he has donated to certain political parties before.
Well, I can't comment on that.
Now, of course, this is also happening on the eve of, Tito Mboweni, the finance minister's budget speech. It raises questions. Is this a glimpse of what we should expect beyond this point?
So I think it is a pure coincidence, to be honest with you, that any issues that might have occurred today, are issues that have been, they have nothing to do with the budget speech. If anything else, we are busy, we are hard at work. We've been busy with various matters since late December, and some of these particular matters are coming to fruition now, and some of them are going to be coming to fruition very shortly. What we are doing, Vuyo, is to ensure that where there has been some wrong activities, whether currently or in the past, we're investigating all of those, and we're wanting to ensure that we clean up where we need to clean up and bring to book wherever any taxpayer have done something wrong.
That's what we're going to leave it. Thanks very much for coming through this evening. SARS Acting Chief Enforcement Officer, Viwe Mlenzana.